All right, Trinity, let's take a look at your swimming here. Nice streamline position, good underwater kicks there. So on your butterfly, something that we see sometimes with swimmers is that they put in a little bit of a glide at the beginning of their butterfly, especially if you had to do some butterfly swimming in practice, longer distances, kind of things that make you really tired. We tend to see this kind of thing develop, and it's okay, but it's something that you want to try to avoid as much as possible. So as you're swimming butterfly, try to keep that arm motion constant. So as soon as those arms enter the water, start that pull right away. And if you want to reduce the effort it takes to do butterfly, just slow the whole thing down instead of putting a glide in there. All right. Because something that happens and something that's really difficult is as you put that glide in there, kind of stopping your stroke is going to make taking that breath really, really hard. And you notice that's happening as you need to take a breath. Your whole body kind of needs to stop and pause there for a second. So keep those arms moving constantly, and then when you do need to take that breath, you're going to be closer to the surface of the water, so as soon as those arms start pulling, you can get your chin up as soon as those hands start pulling instead of having to wait longer to take that breath. So a couple of things to work on for your butterfly. All right, so on your backstroke, we're noticing a lot of up and down bouncing motion going on there with your head and your shoulders. So on your backstroke, what you need to think about is first relaxing that head back a little bit. And backstroke is something that what you should be thinking about is with a good body position and a nice consistent kick, you should be able to move your arms really, really, really slowly through the backstroke arm stroke cycle and stay nice and balanced. So what you want to do here is relax that head back, get your hips up a little bit, and then as your arm enters the water, allow it to go more deeper towards the bottom of the pool. Rotate your shoulders a little bit more. And what that's going to do is it's going to take this bounce and it's going to translate that into a rotation. And then also work on keeping that kick nice and consistent. You kind of got your bounce going on with your shoulders, and then you're kind of accentuating it with your kick. So work on that. Lean your head back, get your hips a little bit higher, rotate more to each side, allow those arms to drop a little bit deeper, and then as your feet are closer to the surface, you're going to just keep a nice 6-beat kick going the whole time. All right, for your breaststroke here, something that you can work on for your kick is really getting those ankles to rotate around the outside of your knees. The power on a breaststroke kick really comes from your ankles rotating on the outside of your knees, holding onto the water, and then pushing it backwards as your feet come together. So that's something that takes a little bit of flexibility, might take some stretching, and definitely lots of practice to work on that. But really think about getting your ankles wide on your breaststroke kick here. The other thing to think about is really put a glide in at the end of your breaststroke arm stroke cycle. So as you finish the stroke there, put in a 1-second glide. And the thing that you can work on here as you work on the strength of your breaststroke kick is moving that kick up earlier in your stroke cycle. All right, and that's something that tends to kind of happen as you put a glide in at the end of your stroke because you take a glide, you'll be more in a streamlined position, and then as you start that arm pull, you'll want to put that kick in a little bit sooner. And that'll have you finish your kick right as your arms are extending, and it's going to make that glide a little bit better, a little bit more efficient. So put that glide in, count out to yourself 1,000 at the end of each breaststroke stroke before you even start moving to take that next breaststroke stroke, and that's going to help you with your timing of your kick in your arms. All right, for freestyle, looks really pretty nice. We can keep your hips just a little bit higher, and you're going to do that by putting in, just like on your backstroke, a nice consistent 6-beat kick the whole time. We'll take a look here in slow motion. All right, I really like that you didn't breathe on your first stroke. That's really important. But when you are taking a breath here, notice how your whole body has to kind of account for that breath that you're taking. You really pick your head up high, and then your hand slides way out and then slides way in. We're talking about your right arm here, to stabilize yourself when you're taking that breath. So you want to breathe in as much air as possible, obviously, but try to keep that chin just a little bit lower in the water. And if you have a nice consistent 6 feet kick going, your whole body is going to be higher in the water, which means that you can take a breath without getting your head so much out of the water to do so. All right, a couple of things to work on, but overall really nice swimming.